MoYu just finished refreshing their entire Big Cube lineup, and this right here are the new AoShi V4 6x6s. Just like with MoYu's latest 7x7, it comes in 3 versions. We have the single track, the double track, and of course the triple track. So we're gonna take a look at all 3 versions here and see how it compares to the AoShi WR M, the predecessor of these cubes. Right now, at the time of recording, the price for these cubes aren't out yet, but once that information is available, I'll be sure to update it down in our description below. And the last 2 things to note before we dive into these cubes, all 3 versions come exclusively with a frosted coating, and they are slightly smaller than the WRM, which was 63 millimeters. These ones come in at 61.2. And I know some might find this a little disappointing, but for me personally, I actually quite like the size, and I don't mind that there's not any UV coating. So let's go ahead and get started with the single track. And this version is going to be the most similar to the WRM, only having edge to corner magnets. Out of the box, the turning feels light, it's a little blocky. I can tell it's not as flexible as the WRM, and it seems to be a bit more on the catchy side, but mostly on the outer layers. These outer layers seem to be pretty weak, but as we go in layer by layer, they do get stronger. I actually like the feel of the inner 2 layers, but the outer ones are just really weak in comparison. Like if I were to do 3x3 stage, like I feel like I'm catching quite a bit, and it's not very pleasant. Whereas compared to the inner layers, like they feel a lot smoother, and they don't seem to catch too much. I would say probably just the normal big cube amount. I will also say that the cube is a bit tight, so I could loosen it up a little bit, but like the inner layers don't catch nearly as much as the outer layers do. And I think that's mainly because the magnets are so weak, I keep like overshooting and things just aren't staying aligned. As for corner cutting, it doesn't really seem to want to do that much over a piece. I mean, it just kind of gets stuck there. Reverse, it's all right, not great, but you don't really need a lot of reverse corner cutting for a big cube like this. Moving on to the double track, this version adds a ball core, which should hopefully help with those weaker outer layers. Right away, I'm noticing the cube feels looser, but still stable. The ball core does seem to be helping with keeping the outer layers more aligned than on the single track, but the difference is not night and day. I'm still having a bit of misalignment issues on the outer layers, which is causing me to catch a bit more than I would on the WRM, but it's definitely lessened a bit from the single track. The corner cutting is also better, doing quite a bit over a piece, which is really nice, and reverse seems to be improved a bit, not by much, but a little bit more. So overall, definitely a step up from the single track, but still some room to improve. It's not perfect quite yet, but hopefully with setup, this cube will feel significantly better. I really like the overall feel of the cube, but just performance-wise, it's not quite living up to what I need. Now on to the triple track. This is usually my favorite version of most of MoYu's big cubes because it has a stronger magnetic feel. It includes these hidden extra edge magnets, which make the cube feel more stable and have a slightly snappier magnetic feel. So out of the box, I'm still feeling that lighter and somewhat blocky feel, and the inner layers feel really nice. The hidden edge magnets definitely are well balanced and don't feel like overly strong. I could see some people thinking it's a bit much for them, but if you have a rougher or less accurate turning style similar to me, then I think you would actually benefit from having the triple track version. As for the tensions, they do feel pretty similar to that of the double track, maybe like slightly looser. And the corner cutting has once again stepped up, going almost 2 full pieces. And for reverse, pretty good amount. It does take a little bit of force, but honestly really impressive for a 6x6. But once again, it's coming back to those outer layers just feeling too weak. I mean, if you look at that, like you'll see the layer just doesn't want to stay aligned with everything else. But I mean, other than that, it's really solid. I'm loving the feel of this cube. And now it's time for me to set these cubes up, and we're gonna go ahead and start with the single track, work our way up. For the single track, I'm going to slightly loosen the tensions and put some lunar on the inner 2 layers, just to kind of keep the speed where it's at. And I'm gonna use a bit of Martian on the outer layers to hopefully try and prevent any misalignments, or at least reduce it from where it's at right now. For the double and triple track, since they're already a bit faster than the single, I'm gonna use Martian on all 3 layers and maybe just use a bit more on the outer layers. And for those who don't normally set up their cubes or just don't know how, we do offer a couple of different setup services that you can choose depending on whether or not you want your cubes to feel faster or a bit more controllable. So after setup, things actually improve quite a bit. The single track feels more stable even without all the added extra magnets from the other 2 versions. And I could see an argument being made that this is better than the AoShi WR M. However, I don't think that the performance difference is actually all that big. The AoShi WR M is more flexible and forgiving in its turning, but it's also a bit sluggish and kind of pops a fair bit, while the single track version of the AoShi V4 may be a bit blockier and have some annoying catches, but I haven't had this cube pop on me once, and the turning is just faster. For the double track, again, there was a significant improvement in performance. The ball core, along with an actual setup, really helps with the outer layers aligning and not catching so frequently. I still do wish that the magnets were a bit stronger, but again, the setup really helps. And as of right now, I've only done a handful of solves on this cube, and I've come really close to breaking my PBs. I still haven't totally got quite used to the feel of this cube, but once I have, I imagine I'll be able to break my PBs with relative ease. And for those looking to get the AoShi V4, if you have more of an accurate turning style, this is definitely the version I would recommend for you. And now for the triple track, which I may be a little bit biased towards because of the stronger magnets from the hidden edge magnets, but I really do think that this is the best version out of all 3. It already feels fairly nice out of the box and just feels so much better with setup. It's stable, has great corner cutting, and just the overall performance is better than the WR M. But as I keep saying throughout this video, I do wish that those outer layers were just a bit stronger when it comes to the magnets. So overall, these are some really solid cubes, a little lacking out of the box, but significantly better with setup, and they have a lot of potential. So if you're looking to upgrade to a top tier 6x6, or you want something that's a little more stable, not so flexible, or if you just want something with all of the modern day big cube hardware, these are a good option to get. But if you want a more standard sized cube or something that is a little bit more forgiving on the turn, something a little more flexible, or if you think that those outer layers are just gonna be too weak in magnet strength for you, the AoShi WR M is still a great option. And with that, we've reached the end of our video. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe, and be sure to comment down below if you'll be picking one of these up and how you guys feel about the smaller size and the weaker outer layers. Anyways, that's it for now. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.